Yo, what's good, world? It's your boy, Calvin Leroy King the third, and as always, I have my lovely co-hostess with the most by my side, Miss Reese PC, the one and only.
Hey, y'all.
We thank y'all for tuning in and turning up for another dope episode of This, That, and the Third, the lifestyle show that gives you life, literally. Now, we're going to begin the show in the best fashion we know how, and that's by beginning with some new news for all of y'all new news. So, Miss Reese, what's leading off our news segment this week?
So, okay, I get it when the president's passed. This has been like a week-long funeral, right?
It's an ordeal. It's a process to bury these niggas.
Like he was in the rotunda, right?
And then for a minute.
I don't even know what it was.
It was a lot.
The
It was
service
involved.
is in Texas now,
Yeah.
and he's being laid to rest.
The service.
Right, but the shade. Have you seen the pictures?
I have, actually. I subscribe to This, That, and the Third's Facebook page, and I suggest you do too. And they're very telling. What did you see?
So when our current president arrived, right, you saw you had the Obamas, you had the Clintons, you even had Dick Cheney behind them.
I saw Biden.
Yeah.
And then that old ass nigga was Carter. That's Jimmy Carter. Yeah, sitting next to Hillary. Yeah, that's Carter old ass. How long ago was he president? In the 80s?
Like,
he aged terribly.
70s, yeah.
Okay, he aged terribly. I'm just saying, but he's up there. He's got to be up there.
But yeah, so you saw Trump, reach out to shake the Obama's hand, and you see you can do his voice so.
But when President Trump and Melania came in, it was starkly different. President Obama shook his hand. Michelle Obama, former First Lady, said good morning. And that was it.
And then turned and looked forward.
And there was the others did not greet him. Former President George W. Bush, the son, went over and shook his hand when he came. But there was a stark contrast, and there is no question. I think no one is surprised about that.
And just that they're showing the images of what you were just describing, so we can see it again.
And
there's one other thing I want to point out.
Yeah.
Hillary Clinton. She never looked to her right.
No.
Ever. Look, I mean.
And President Clinton, who shakes everybody's, hand, he did not.
It's tough.
Reach over. Jimmy Carter down at the end, who's actually had more kind words at times for President Trump, didn't look down. So that was very different. I think the other thing that no doubt will be discussed is, while President Trump's name was never said in any of the speeches, the tributes to former President Bush, every word, every adjective, every anecdote stood in stark contrast to this presidency. And I think we're going to be talking a lot about that.
Exactly. And
You're going to have to see these niggas. It's like saying something about somebody and thinking you can't just be internet tough.
Yeah.
You're going to see them and it's going to be uncomfortable. And obviously they got to handle it like gentlemen and ladies, but he's not. He's not a gentleman. And his wife seems like she's just caught in the middle, because I think they kind of rock with her a little bit. But
I think they feel bad for her.
Yeah, because she's like locked in between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah.
And this rock just happens to be orange.
Right.
But R.I.P. once again to the late, great George Bush.
H.W. Bush.
George H.W. That's what it is.
Because
There's that
I
extra
even
little
heard
thing in there.
Kyle
Harold
on the radio
Washington.
this morning say W, and I was like, you're saying the wrong one.
You need to tune into This, That, and the Third more often, Kyle. And y'all need to come on the show. You, Kendra G, and Leon. We will get y'all asses. All right, sticking with news and moving from the shade. Republicans are sore losers?
Okay,
Is this something new? Because it
Yeah.
sounds like they've been sore losers. Anytime they lose, they ready to change the goddamn law.
Well, they have it real bad this time. So I saw it on Vice News, and then I seen another article on ABC, right? And so in Wisconsin and Michigan, the Republicans lost the governorship, right?
Okay.
After 2 days of protests at the Wisconsin state capitol, it was relatively calm this morning around 6 a.m. when Republican lawmakers finally passed their top priority for the lame duck session.
There are 17 ayes, 16 noes. The bill is passed. The chair recognizes Senator from the 13th.
A series of bills to dramatically reduce the powers of the incoming Democratic administration. The bills now go to outgoing Governor Scott Walker, a Republican, who said he'll sign them. The new laws are designed to make life much harder for the guy who beat Walker, Tony Evers, and his Attorney General, Josh Kaul. They require Evers to seek lawmakers' approval before making changes to public benefits programs. And they make Kaul jump through hoops to file federal lawsuits, or to withdraw from ones, like Walker's challenge of the Affordable Care Act. It's all part of a new tradition in American politics, where a party loses an election and then rewrites the rules of the state in the aftermath. This week, Republican lawmakers in Michigan passed a law that would let the legislature intervene in the incoming Democratic Attorney General's ability to file lawsuits.
Some of the key provisions in the plan are to limit early voting. Why do you want to limit early voting?
There's absolutely I can't say there are no valid reasons. What are their reasons for wanting to limit
I don't know. And then another provision.
It seems like we're the ones that suffer the most from early voting being eliminated or mitigated. Because, I see a lot of us going out and voting early. I'm not saying, it's not like I'm in the neighborhoods where we wouldn't be voting. You know what I'm saying? So it's just weird to say. I can't really tell, but I just feel like it's a disproportionate play on us.
Yeah, I think so. And then another provision would to weaken the Attorney General's office by requiring the legislative committee rather than the Attorney General to sign off on withdrawing from federal lawsuits. Mm-hmm. So this specifically is related to the fact that they don't want him to pull the lawsuit challenging the Affordable Care Act. Mm-hmm. So it's a Democratic Senator, Tammy Baldwin, who recently won re-election. She basically called this whole plan an attack on the will of people in the democratic process. So since when they lose, they want to change the rules that can control what that new power can do
with what was already done with what they did when they were in power.
Right. And then before you get to vote, they're controlling it by the gerrymandering.
You told me what that was before.
So it's just like dividing district lines
right,
and that whole thing. And apparently
trying to control the political process by zoning and shit.
Yes.
Okay, I got you.
So, and in Wisconsin and Michigan, it's pretty bad.
Now, the interesting thing to me is the fact that the Affordable Care Act, correct me if I'm wrong, is Obamacare. Right. Mm-hmm. Why don't we call it that anymore?
Because they don't want it to be called
They trying to do away with it like it was never even a thing.
It never existed.
Right.
Yeah.
And if we can do anything in our control to eliminate Obamacare, a.k.a. the Affordable Care Act, we're willing to mitigate the offices of, you said, Attorney General and
the governor. They want to just control what they can do.
So who is they then? This is just the state Senate or the state
legislators.
State legislators, okay.
The Republicans.
Damn, it's never over, man. All right, well, Republicans, stop being such sore losers and maybe start winning again. You know what I'm saying? Winning feels good. Winning is contagious. Get y'all some wins, and y'all won't have to go to such extreme measures. So Republicans, I suggest y'all get y'all some more wins and stop being such sore losers when you do lose. Okay? But sticking with new news, for all y'all new news, too much weed. Where they do that at?
Okay, this is shocking to me.
Man, I can tell. She said, where? Follow your nose.
So in Oregon, right, apparently when this new rush came in, when everybody was trying to legalize weed, right, they made it really, really easy for you to get your growing license, producer license, and for you to sell. The licenses were only like $1,000.
Oh, wow.
That's nothing compared to how much money and checks and balances you have to have here.
When you're saying a license, that means I can not have a storefront, but I can do this in my comforts of my own backyard?
No, you have to, like, to sell, you have to have a store, a location, right? Can't get a license and sell from your house.
willy-nilly.
Right.
Willie Wilson.
But to grow, you can grow on your land.
Right. For personal consumption.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and it was for both, for personal or to sell wholesale. So if you're growing, you can sell to the stores and the businesses, right?
Okay, cool.
So when it started, of course, wasn't a lot of people, but let's say like it went from having 10 shops in an area to like 50.
Oh, yeah.
Shops.
Overnight.
Yeah. And so oversaturated, and they don't have any rules to regulate it.
Right.
And so they have like so much weed that people aren't buying enough or buying it fast enough. Yeah. And so they're burning the weed.
And now the community's high.
And because the federal government won't let them wholesale it to other states.
Oh, yeah.
They're just stuck with it.
Damn.
So my suggestion, right?
Send it our way.
For all of you who travel to Cali,
go to
Oregon,
go to the Ducks,
and Get you a couple bags.
It's a comeback, but you gotta stay. You can't leave with it. You gotta post
You
up.
just have to figure out how to get it back to wherever you are.
Ah, yeah.
It's possible.
Mule it back to
I'm
your
just
community,
saying.
man.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man, because who would ever think that Oregon would be known for having too much good stuff?
I didn't even know it was legal in Oregon.
I had
Like,
no idea. I don't
one
know
talks
where
about
Oregon is or what it's shaped
It's
like.
west,
What
right?
shape is it?
Is Oregon? No, I think that's
Kinda
Idaho.
It look like a parallelogram. What Oregon look like? Nobody knows
It's
the
next
shape
to
of
Washington,
Oregon.
right?
Washington, like Seattle, Washington?
Uh-huh. It's up there.
Who'd have thunk it? I know that what's it called is headquartered there, Nike.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Didn't
I
know
believe.
that.
I don't know. Fake facts here on this, that, and the third. But yeah, whatever we can do to help y'all get rid of y'all weed. Maybe they should make like, you know how you can make apparel out of hemp.
Yeah.
And maybe they can make like furniture. Maybe they can find alternative uses for
I mean,
it instead
they
of just
could, but-
burning it. Like, damn, that's a hell of a bonfire, man. If they just burning it
Well,
and you just
and
walk past that, you
so-
gonna be lit.
You have this excess amount of weed, and then you have people going out of business because they can't sell enough.
sustain, yeah.
Yeah, or they're selling their small businesses to a bigger company that, you know, are coming in and buying
Yeah,
them out.
well, getting bought out is way better than just
Yeah.
going belly up. And I would
Yeah.
think that it's worth the risk in hindsight for $1,000 investment. Your seeds can't cost too much. And then to do all that, I mean, it was worth a shot because you could have
Yeah.
came up. So at least,
Well,
you
and
know.
they had some years. Like, this has been going on for some years,
Right.
and now it's just hit its breaking point where
Right.
they can't do any more new applicants. It's just like at a standstill because they don't know what to do.
Well, it sounds like a new vacation destination has just emerged on this
For the
and the
weekend.
third.
I sure
For
said
the
that.
weekend. You know what I'm saying? Do your little down and back to Oregon, G. And that's statewide, so it's not specific to, I got to go
no
to this city.
Nope.
Go anywhere in Oregon
Yep.
and get them organs fucked up. Okay. So that about wraps us up for this week's segment of news on this and the third. Literally.